Do it your way. You don't need their approval. You never did. But you do need yours. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and decide, this is who I am. You need to believe it without hesitation, without apology. Think your dreams are too big. No, they're not. You're just sharing them with people too small to understand them. The problem isn't the size of your dream, it's the size of the minds you're handing it to. And for some of you, the real reason you're not making a move isn't because the opportunity isn't real, it's because deep down you don't believe you are. You don't doubt the goal, you doubt yourself. But that ends now. Greatness doesn't start with a strategy, it starts with belief. You must believe that you can. You must believe that you're worthy. You must believe that your voice matters and your path is yours to walk without permission, without validation. Because guess what? I get to decide. I'm in the driver's seat now. I'm no longer waiting for someone to hand me the keys. I own the vehicle. I run my life. I'm finally the boss. The question is, are you ready to be the boss of yours? Are you ready to take back control, shut out the noise, and claim the life you were made for? Because you deserve it. You deserve to build it. You deserve to live it. And anyone who tells you otherwise, they don't know who you really are. So stop asking, start becoming. I know exactly what I bring to the table in this game because I built my own table. I carved out a space in this industry where no one else moves like me, speaks like me, delivers like me. I'm not knocking on doors, hoping for an opportunity. I am the room, and you're out here operating at 50%, hoping to get the same results as someone grinding at 100%. You're copying the what, but you're not becoming the who. That's why it's not working. And that's why I value time over money. They print money every single day, but they don't print time. Say it with me. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. I've never met a billionaire who can create an extra hour. So why are you obsessing over what's replaceable while wasting what's irreplaceable? The truth. You're chasing money because you haven't mastered you. You're following others because you haven't found your identity. But when you master yourself, your habits, your energy, your mindset, you become rare. And anything rare becomes valuable. That's why diamonds cost more than coal. Stop blending in. Stand out. Own your difference. That's where power lives. And ownership. It's everything. That's why I say even when it's not my fault, it's still my responsibility. Because when I blame you, I hand you my power. And I will never let someone else control my life. It's my problem, so it's my solution. That's how greatness works. The average stays stuck in excuses and grudges and fear. The great we do, whatever it takes. Let me tell you why I go this hard. Not for trophies, not for applause, but because I had to grow up fast. I was 17 when my mom got sick, real sick. Hospital bills, stacking fridge, half-empty lights flickering on and off because we couldn't keep up with the bills. No safety net, no backup plan. Just me standing there with two choices. Make excuses or make it happen. So I got 2 jobs. School during the day, warehouse at night. Studied on my lunch breaks. Hustled. Every hour I could steal. While my friends were out partying, I was figuring out how to keep the house warm in winter. I wasn't chasing dreams, I was trying to survive. You think I care about a Lambo, I just didn't want my little sister going to bed hungry. You want to know what fuels me? It's not ambition, it's necessity. It's walking into interviews with shoes a size too small and still smiling like you own the room. It's showing up every single day with no guarantee, no shortcut, no silver spoon, just grit. And that's why I grind like this. Because life doesn't care about your potential, it cares about your preparation. It rewards the ones who show up, tired, broke, doubted, but still show up. While you're waiting for motivation, I'm moving with desperation, and desperation will beat talent every single time. So if you're tired, good. If you're scared, good. That means it matters. That means you've got skin in the game. Now get up, lock in, and handle your business, because nobody's coming to save you. You've got to become your own rescue plan. The reason most of you keep quitting, your why isn't strong enough. The beatdown life throws at you is heavier than your reason to get back up. But when your why is deeper than your pain, you don't break. You will work your way through. Whether it's cancer, financial hardship, academic failure, you don't fold, you fight. Some situations require skill, yes, but the most brutal ones they demand you don't just push, you persist. You overcome, and that's what makes you unstoppable. Without a vision, there's no direction, and without direction, there's no progress. That's why some of you are struggling just to get out of bed in the morning, because you have nothing real to get up for. No fire, no mission, no clarity about where you're going. But let me tell you something straight. The path to greatness is not a smooth road. It's a dogfight. I wish I could say it gets easier. I wish I could tell you the path will be painless, but that would be a lie. This journey, this pursuit of something greater is going to break you, test you, stretch you. I lost 5 aunts to cancer in the middle of chasing my dreams. I was grieving, traveling, going to funerals. I had to lead while I was bleeding. That's real. I've had cousins shot execution style twice in the back of the head, and you won't find that on Instagram. That pain, that loss, that chaos, it's part of the fight. My wife 3 years ago was diagnosed with 7 lesions on her brain. Another blow, another test, but I kept moving. Because the road was never paved with comfort, it was carved out through suffering, one scar at a time. You think you're the only one hurting. You think it's supposed to feel good. It's never been easy. But I made a choice. If I have to go through hell, I'm not coming out empty-handed. I will earn my reward. I will not stop in the middle. I will not be defeated. I will not be broken. Whatever happens, I'm going to turn that pain into fuel. You won't stop me. You won't break me. I refuse to lose unless I choose to quit. And that's not an option. So let me make it clear. If you're looking for something easy, don't start. If you want soft and painless, don't show up. If you expect people to open doors for you, approve you, clap for you, don't even get on the field. But if you understand that success is built on rejection, built on being told no 100 times before you hear one yes, then let's go. I get excited when they say no. Why? Because I know I'm just one yes away. Just one door, one crack of opportunity, one breakthrough away from everything I've worked for. And you can't stop that. You can contain it for a while, sure, but you can't stop it. You don't have enough hate. You don't have enough power. You don't have enough energy to destroy what's rooted in love, in purpose, in pain. Turn persistence. It didn't happen when I was 19. It didn't come at 25. Not even 30. I was tested at 40. Life said, you think you've seen pressure, here comes the heat. And when I survived that, the Creator said, now you're ready for the cut. You said you wanted to inspire people. You said you wanted to travel the world. Well, guess what? It takes more than talent. It takes becoming a diamond. You know what the military teaches first? Not defense. Not even how to fight. They teach you how to carry a dead body and what to do when your weapon jams. Because when the worst happens, when the gun fails, when your brother dies beside you, you've got to be ready. They don't teach you best case scenarios first. They start at the worst, because that's what most people never prepare for. You weren't broken because life was hard. You were broken because you never thought it could be. And when life hit, you folded. You weren't ready for a jammed weapon. You weren't ready to carry weight you didn't expect. But if you stay in the fight, if you say, no matter what, I don't quit, you will win. You may not outsmart me, but you will not outwork me. I'll get up at 3 a.m. and shoot content. I'll grind when no one's watching. I do it for my family. I do it for my kids. I do it because my dad wasn't there. I do it for Dee Dee. For everyone who sacrificed for me, that's why I'm relentless. But if you're doing it for you alone, that's why you quit when it hurts. That's why you stop when life hits. You never train for the worst case scenario, but me. I'm always ready to go back to the floor, back to the struggle. I still sleep on the ground sometimes, not because I have to, but because I might have to again one day, and if that day comes, I won't break. To become a diamond, you must endure extreme pressure, extreme heat, and then comes the cut. And only then does your shine mean something. So ask yourself, are you here to sparkle? Or are you here to shine through fire? It's your turn. And don't you dare feel guilty about it. You've poured into everyone else. You've helped build their dreams. You've sacrificed your time, your energy, your own goals just to see them shine. But look around. Where are you now? Now it's your season. It's your moment. It's your time. See, a lot of you aren't stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because you've lost your reason. You've got no fire, no fuel, no purpose pulling you out of bed in the morning. And without purpose, you drift, you stall, you break under pressure, but deep down, you know what needs to be done. You know who you're meant to become. You just need to ignite that engine again. You're the one, the right one, the only one who can do it, the way you were designed to do it. But here you are staring at the ceiling, hesitating. Every time adversity shows up, you flinch, you stop, you fold. Why? Because you haven't found your why. And until you do, you'll keep hitting that wall. But once you find it, everything changes. Your why is the spark that starts the fire. Your why is the fuel that drives the grind. The problem with some of you, you've got no fuel. You've got no hunger. You've got no reason to fight. And if you don't find one today, life will bury you tomorrow. You're still looking outside for a savior when your power has been inside you this whole time. You don't need a rescue. You need to rise. You don't need a hero. You need to become one. You already have the answers. You already have the tools. You just need to show up and unlock the best version of you, and it's not optional anymore. The reason some of you aren't where you're supposed to be is simple. You gave yourself an escape plan. You gave yourself a way out, an excuse. You gave yourself permission to stay average. No more. Right here, right now, declare it. I can, I will, I must. Say it louder. I can, I will, I must. I can means I have the ability. It's already in me. I will means I have the fire, the willpower to execute. I must means it's not just about me anymore. My wife needs me. My son depend on me. My daughter's watching. I can, I will, I must. Now ask yourself something. What level are you really playing at? Are you giving 100%? Are you giving 90%, 80%, 70%? Let's be real. And now ask yourself, what would it take for you to give everything? What would it take for you to show up fully every single day? That level of consistency isn't about motivation. It's about standards. It's about structure. It's about sacrifice. You want to be great, you better start acting like it. That means going to bed when others stay up, waking up when others are sleeping, saying no to the things that drain you, saying yes to the grind. Because this opportunity, this life, it's not a guarantee. So when you're handed the chance to rise, why would you show up with 70%? Why give less than your best? The truth is, many of you don't lack talent. You lack discipline. And that lack, it's killing your greatness. Not because you're weak, but because you haven't demanded more from yourself. From this day forward, every time you step into an opportunity, you give it 120%. Not for applause, not for a scoreboard, but because that's who you are. That's what you're capable of. This is about mental toughness, because life isn't fair. Life doesn't hand out rewards to the most talented, it gives them to the most relentless. So what are you going to do with the time you've got left? Because it is your life. And if you're not in control of it, who is? You looked up to legends. Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, me. I looked at Malcolm Martin, the greats who inspired revolutions, and I saw what was possible. I saw what one voice could do, and now I ask you, what will yours do? You've got one shot, one window, one moment, and when you realize this is the opportunity of a lifetime, you'll stop playing soft, you'll stop coasting, and you'll start dominating. But to do that, you need that dog in you, not just talent, will, because being gifted is one thing, but grit is everything. Skill may open the door, but will keep you inside the room. So if you want to play at the highest level and stay there, you'd better bring more than talent. You'd better bring fire. Let's go. This is your moment, your chapter, your turn. Now own it. I used to walk into certain rooms and feel like I didn't belong. My videos were already out. The numbers were strong. I was doing my thing in high schools, youth detention centers, prisons, boom, boom, boom. I'd step into those spaces and feel at home, but then I'd show up to corporate events, boardrooms, conferences with executives in suits, and suddenly I'd look around and think, man, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. Nobody in the room looked like me. Nobody came from where I came from. I carried this quiet doubt, like maybe my background didn't qualify me for this level. Maybe my story wasn't meant for this kind of stage. But I'll never forget the day Les Brown called me down to Orlando. We sat down in a hotel, just the two of us, and I started pouring out all these names. Man, you're Les Brown, this guy's #1. That guy's on top. And he stopped me mid-sentence, looked me dead in the eye and said, don't you ever say that again. I said, say what he said. You're the best in the world right now. There's nobody better than you. The only reason you're not walking in that truth is because you don't believe it. But I need you to say it, believe it, and act like it right now. And when I left that hotel room, everything changed. I started telling myself every morning I'm the #1 motivational speaker in the world. Not when I got to #1, but when I was still number 20. I declared it before it happened. I claimed it before the world confirmed it. I spoke it, the world heard it, and it responded. You've got to understand this. Your problem isn't your talent, it's your belief. You don't believe you deserve to be in the room? You're walking into spaces like you need permission. You don't. Some of y'all say you want to be millionaires. You say you want to be the best in your company, but your value system is betraying you. You say it with your mouth, but your habits say something different. You believe in sleep more than you believe in sacrifice. You're spending more than you earn and reading all the right books, but the principles in those books don't line up with how you live. If you really want to rise to the next level, your values have to evolve. You've got to get aligned. You've got to believe that your voice, your story, your presence is needed in this world. And I had to get to that place too. Not for ego, not for fame, but because I knew there were people out there who needed me. People who came from where I came from. People who grew up in the struggle with no blueprint, with a single mother, a missing father, homelessness, dropping out of school. They didn't need someone polished. They needed someone real. They needed someone who could say, I made it, and you can too. Les Brown can't reach everyone. Tony Robbins can't reach everyone. But I can reach the ones who know what it's like to fight from the bottom. And for that reason, I had to step on the stage not just to speak, but to fulfill what I was called to do. And let me tell you something real. You cannot quit in the middle of the process. You can't give up just because it doesn't look like success yet. Champions keep going when the tank is empty, when the lights are off, when the cameras are gone. They find something deeper, something greater. That's what separates average from greatness. Don't quit now. Not when the world is waiting to hear what only you can say. You want success, you want greatness, then you'd better want it as bad as you want to breathe. And when you want it that badly, trust me, you'll find a way. Some of y'all have been worshiped since high school, and that's exactly why you don't know how to grind. You talk about the grind. You post quotes about it. You walk into the weight room bumping Pac and Biggie like you live that life. But you're in love with the sound, not the struggle. You admire the energy, but you don't carry the spirit. You love the grind story, but you've never truly lived the grind. Some of you have been tall your whole life, strong your whole life, praised your whole life, and now you think it's about you. You've been celebrated so long you forgot what it means to earn. You think you belong here just because you showed up. You think you've arrived and now you want to chill. You got a little success and now you're getting soft. Let me tell you something, this is not the time to let up. This is the time to make it permanent. Not perfect, permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes it permanent. This is the moment where you decide to lock in and never look back. You don't need to be the most talented. You don't have to be the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest. But you do have to grind. You have to outwork everyone. I don't care who your daddy is, what kind of car he bought you, or what connections your family has. You might have privilege, but you will not outwork me. That's the decision you have to make right now, that nobody in this league in your position will outwork you. I walk away from every room with new books I've never read, new ideas I've never heard, and new relationships I've never had. This isn't luck. This is a decision. This is just the dessert, but I grind for the main course. Some of you upgrade your phone every time a new one drops, but you haven't upgraded yourself. You keep upgrading your tech, your clothes, your shoes, but your mindset is still stuck in 2010. The moment you finally say enough is enough when it hurts bad enough, that's when the doors start opening. But hear me closely, this is your dream. Nobody else will feel it like you. Nobody else will believe in it like you. Nobody else has to like it, support it, or even understand it. It's yours. And if it's yours, then you have been chosen to bring it to life. You've got the responsibility and the power to make it real. And you can't let anything or anyone stop you from fulfilling that calling. Why do I grind so hard? Because I might not be number one forever. 5 years from now, the spotlight could shift. So I'm getting everything I can while the door is open. I'm writing every book I can. I'm doing every speech I can. My tuition was paid by the athletic department. I'm hot right now. I can't afford to let up. A real man works in the dark. A real man puts in work when no one's watching. He studies film when nobody asks him to, because he loves the process. Real lions, they don't just love the kill, they love the hunt. And some of you just want to score. You want the lights, the cheers, the spotlight, but you don't want the process. You want the pads, but not the pain. You want the roar of the crowd, but not the silence of the grind. Me, I grind day after day. I grind in airports and hotels, city after city, mile after mile. You ask E.T., aren't you tired? Maybe. Aren't you ready to rest? Possibly, but I can't, because I'm grinding for my son Jalen. I'm grinding for my daughter Jada. I'm grinding for Dee Dee, for my wife, for my mother. I think about them every time that alarm clock rings and my body says no. And that's why I can't stop. My son's tuition is $25. $0 a year, I can't stop. My daughter's watching me. I can't stop. My wife needs me. My family needs me. You might call me loud, but I'm powerful. You might say I'm different, but I'm brilliant. We can go from homeless to heroes, from high school dropouts to PhDs, from lost to legends, from asking for permission to owning our greatness, but we don't need anyone else to validate us. We only need ourselves. I am phenomenal. I don't owe anyone an apology for that. I was created to be great. I was created to do great things. I was created to have great things, and I will never again ask someone else for permission to live that truth. I used to think that if you were a good person, if you did right by people, treated them with kindness, showed up for them, then they'd give you that same kindness in return. I was wrong. I was delusional. What I've learned the hard way is that sometimes the kinder you are, the more people try to play you like a fool. You show love, and they take advantage. You show loyalty, and they exploit it. You're honest, and they use your truth against you. Some of y'all are walking through life with that same delusion. You believe that if you just stay nice, everything will work out. But let me tell you something. When you're operating from a false premise, when you're living in a lie, you will never get the outcomes you want. You've got to operate from truth. And for many of us, the truth is uncomfortable. The truth is heavy. The truth is hard to accept. You dropped out of high school. You grew up in a broken neighborhood. You're trying to do what Tony Robbins is doing, but you don't have the tools in your arsenal yet. And until you admit what you don't have, you'll never be able to go get it. You'll never become who you were meant to be. But if you can be real with yourself, if you can stop pretending and stop fronting, then you can grow. Here's the real reason why some of you won't be honest. You'd rather live in a lie than have nothing at all. You already know that the job you're working isn't your future. You already know your boss isn't going to cash you out. You're just scared to leave, scared to start your own business, scared to fail. But let's be honest, how many of you are still in that job even though you know you've outgrown it? Raise your hand. Don't play. Raise it high. You're living in a fantasy that one day your job and your purpose are going to magically merge. They won't. That day isn't coming. You're going to have to leave. You're going to have to take a leap. You're going to have to choose you. And some of you are afraid of that process. You're scared of letting go of who you were. But let me tell you something. Whatever world you're from, you can always go back. You can always return. But that version of you that you're clinging to, it won't carry you to the next level. What got you here won't take you there. You have to let the dream break you, redefine you, and rebuild you stronger. I'm living proof. That first version of me could never stand here and pour into you. But every year, by surrounding myself with greatness through books, mentors, masterminds, I evolved. I grew into this version of Eric Thomas. And I'm not done. My next goal, win the Nobel Prize. Why not? I had to come up with something big. I'm giving myself permission to dream without limits. And I'm giving you that same permission today. Be careful who you keep around you. When you're surrounded by average people, they'll keep reminding you of what they can't do. But that has nothing to do with you. Their limits are not your limits. We can go from being homeless and broken to earning PhDs, writing books, and becoming the voice of a generation. We can do anything we believe we can do, and we don't need anyone's permission to do it. You are brilliant. You are special. Yes, you're different. No, you're not doing it the traditional way. But greatness doesn't follow tradition. Greatness breaks tradition. Keep going. Keep showing up. It took me 12 years to earn a 4-year degree, but that turned into a master's. That became a doctorate. From sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans, to Dr. Eric Thomas, to 6 books, to a global platform, to a movement. So today I'm telling you, stop playing small. Stop waiting for someone to validate you. You don't need permission. You already are. So say it loud and say it proud. I am. Listen to me closely. There was a time in my life when I was literally homeless. I was showing up to church without showering, without brushing my teeth, just trying to get through the day. I had nothing, not even dignity in the mirror. And then one day this man looked at me and said, "You need to get your GED. I'm sending you to college because greatness is on you." I was the 16th of maybe 17. I had never stood in front of a crowd. I had never spoken a word in public. But this man saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. He gave me something nobody else had ever given me: permission. Permission to believe I could be more. Permission to imagine greatness in a place where there had only been struggle. Permission to start something new in a family where no one had ever done it before. He gave me the words that changed everything I am. I am, and now I'm saying that to you. You are. But hear me, when you graduate, when you get that job, when you're chasing success, never let the words, "I can't," come out of your mouth. Even when it feels impossible, even when your heart is telling you it won't work, don't you dare speak defeat out loud. Let the ones who stay stuck say that. Let the ones who get laid off first speak that, but not you. You say it can be done, even if you have no idea how. Say it then, figure it out. Make it up if you have to. Create a path if none exists. I'm being real with you. People who say, "I don't know how to last in my company." They get the lowest checks, the smallest roles. Why? Because I'm only giving bonuses to those who find a way. So here's what I need from you. Kill the noise, silence the doubt, and embrace the truth of who you are. Whatever it takes, get it done. They studied the most successful men and women on the planet, top athletes, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and they found a pattern. Nearly all of them shared a common trait. They had a routine and they were obsessed with it. Their lives weren't filled with wasted time. Their calendars weren't full of gaps. Their time was locked in with purpose. I started thinking, why am I more successful now than I ever was before? Why am I not getting in the trouble I used to get into when I was younger? It's simple back then. My schedule had too many holes in it. There were too many open doors for distraction and negativity to sneak in. The enemy didn't even need to work hard. He could just wait for my 8:30 p.m. gap when I was mindlessly watching television or playing video games. It's not that I'm more talented than anyone. It's that the devil can't reach me anymore because my time is spoken for. I'm locked in. By the time he tries to tempt me, I'm already asleep, too tired to sin, too focused to fall off. That's real. Even when my body didn't want to move, my habit kicked in. All I had to do was put on my shoes. That's it. And once the shoes were on, the rest took care of itself. I got on that treadmill to walk an hour at incline. I told myself, that's enough. But when I finished the hour, something kicked in my body, said, let's run. My brain tried to argue back. We are tired. But my body, it said, no, you're not. You just walked for an hour. If you were really tired, you wouldn't have finished that. That's how I became #1 in the world. Not by luck, not by magic, but by discipline. I didn't become a millionaire by making more money. I became one by changing how I lived. Someone told me millionaires live off 30% of their income. So I listened. I started saving. I paid my tithe, then I gave myself only 20% of the rest to live on. The rest I put it up. First, I was told to save 6 months of income. So I did. Took some time, but I made it happen. Then someone said, put $100. Zero aside. So I did. Then it was, get your credit score up to 800. So I made that a mission too. Then someone told me something that changed my life. If you want to compete with the greats, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, you need their language. I had a GED. I graduated from university, but I needed to expand. Listen, when you graduate and go into the workforce, if you want to be successful, you never say it can't be done. I don't care how impossible it feels. You don't speak of defeat. You let the people with broken mindsets say that. You let the ones they're firing say that. But you say, it can be done even if you don't know how. Say it then, figure it out later. This mindset, this willingness to say yes and back it up with action is the reason I get paid. It's the reason I succeed. It's the reason I'm dressed for success, not by wearing someone else's uniform, but by being fully myself. When I show up, I'm not dressed like the next man. I'm dressed in confidence, in preparation, in belief. And here's the truth. Most of you aren't broke because of your background. You're broke because of your mindset. You read broken content, watch broken videos, scroll on social media with no purpose. You waste time like you've got all of it in the world. Meanwhile, the 1% treats time as the most valuable asset they've got. If they're not working, they're learning. If they're not learning, they're sharpening their skills. So when I told my mom I was quitting my job to chase my dream, she panicked. What about insurance? What about the 401k? She didn't get it. And I love her for everything she's done. But I told her gently, Mom, you can't teach me how to be a millionaire. You're not one. You taught me hard work, loyalty, and love. But now it's my job to go beyond. Every generation is supposed to elevate. That's why I stopped clocking in. Rich people don't clock in. They think. They build. They scale. Poor people work for money. The rich put others to work and collect value. They think in systems. The question is, do you want to stay the 99% or are you ready to step into the 1%? It doesn't matter that I was homeless. It doesn't matter that I was a dropout. What matters is that I changed my thinking. I learned the codes. I studied the way successful people communicate, write, and lead. I didn't abandon who I was, but I upgraded my software, and you can too. But you got to kill the poverty mindset and step into the routine of greatness. That's how you rise. Don't settle for being average. Seriously, whatever it is you do, go all in. Don't just show up, own it, master it, give it everything you've got. But here's the truth, most people don't want to hear what it actually takes to be great. And if I really told you what it takes, many of you would fold under the pressure before you even hit your first milestone. Let me be real, you wouldn't make it to 10. 0 hours. You'd tap out. Not because you're not talented, but because you don't have the endurance. You don't have the stamina. You don't have the heart it requires. The grind would break you. Not because you're weak, but because you haven't built that kind of strength yet. Some of y'all need a shift in perspective. Let me tell you of what you're made of what runs in your veins. Imagine a small village high in the mountains where winters were brutal. Food was scarce and survival wasn't guaranteed. There was a young boy who had to wake up before the sun every day to chop wood, melt snow just to drink and walk miles through ice just to get to school. No heated jackets, no hot meals waiting, and yet he didn't complain. He didn't ask for comfort. Why? Because he believed that one day his struggle would become the foundation for something greater. His parents couldn't read. His grandparents worked the land with their bare hands. But he believed that the sacrifice he made in the silence, when no one was clapping, when no one was watching, would echo into a future where his children wouldn't have to start where he did. That spirit, that grit, that legacy, it's yours now. So don't tell me the grind is too much. Don't tell me it's too early, too long, too painful. Someone before you paid the price for you to even have this opportunity. So now it's your turn to carry that torch, not just for yourself, but for everyone who's coming after you. And now we're here complaining about the heat, about pressure, about hard work. Come on. The things you think are hard, the things you think are unfair, they pale in comparison to what your ancestors survived. You come from a lineage of fighters, of survivors, of people who made something from nothing. So don't you dare be average. Not when you were built to be extraordinary. Outro. Thank you for sticking with me all the way through. I don't take your time or your presence for granted. Whether you're chasing a dream, climbing out of a tough season, or just trying to find that next breath of strength, you being here means something. It means you haven't given up, and that alone makes you powerful. I hope this message stirred something in you. I hope it reminded you of who you are, what you're capable of, and why you started in the first place. And if today was your restart, then I'm proud of you deeply. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep choosing growth over comfort. And never forget, greatness isn't reserved for the few, it's earned by the relentless. Stay strong, stay grounded, stay hungry. Until next time, much love and respect.